Let's make a monster.
That was a wild ride. Nothing that anybody has said thus far could have prepared me for that, but that was awesome.
That's good.
If you are watching this video from the Monster Bash playlist and you have never been to my channel before, hi, I'm Zambies, your friendly hobby necromancer. And you probably already know what Monster Bash is. For the rest of you who might not know what Monster Bash is, it is simply put a collection of creative friends who get together and make their own unique monsters from randomly drawn monster cards. Now in the past, we designed and randomly drew these cards ourselves. But this year, Trent switched things up a little bit. We drew on a new template without any explanation about what was happening at first, and then submitted them to the Oracle of Ooze. A week later, we met the Oracle to find out our fate. Wow.
Do you have a wish for the Oracle?
Yes, I wish that whatever I create is full of whimsy and brings people joy.
Wow. Granted already. Do you have a number?
I decide that I'm going to let the dice gods pick. And I got a 2.
2. All right. Shall we start?
Yes. The number we picked ended up being how many extra cards we got from the remix and wildcard piles. Since I got 2, I just picked 1 of each.
The Oracle is worried for you.
Yeah, I'm worried for
wishes
myself.
You have a good day.
Thanks. It was said that the wish didn't really matter, but to me, my wish was my main goal. My second goal, well, actually I'll tell you about that later. First, I have my work cut out for me to create something that's whimsical out of all of this. At least this is better than the year I got, oops, all feet. Almost all of my cards were limbs. And I hate feet, except for toe beans. But who doesn't love toe beans? It's time to dig around in my handy-dandy junk box of broken toys and other things to see if I can spark an idea of anything that will match these cards. So I didn't find anything besides these wings that I think I'm going to use on my monster, but I did see this Pokemon in here, and I had actually used this Pokemon on a previous Monster Bash, which gives me an idea on what I can do for this one. This remix card was my saving grace. Using it to replace the bottom part of the head was exactly what I needed to get those wheels turning. I'm gonna make a Fey creature. I'm thinking a rabbit insect hybrid. Since I didn't find anything I wanted to use for the body, I thought about sculpting it myself, but with a tight deadline, I want a structure to work off of to save me some time. So I'm turning to my handy dandy printer. I know what you're thinking. Zambies, you sure do a lot of Pokemon projects. And you're right, I do. But I like Pokemon, and I have free will, and nobody can stop me from doing another one. I picked this skeleton Eevee file because it was bare bones. All puns intended. This will allow me to build up and sculpt what I want on top of it easily. And I planned on leaving the ribcage exposed to symbolize this card, which made me think of some sort of see-through spirit. The first step in sculpting was to make some bug eyes and a more pronounced nose. Then attach the wings and make it a little more fuzzy. Now I know there are newer Pokemon that are more rabbit-like than Eevee, but I'm an old school fan, and Eevee is one of my favorites. And personally, I think the cutest. If you don't think most Pokemon are cute and whimsy, then I don't know what to tell you. But you're wrong. I know you're supposed to wear gloves when using Milliput, because it can be a skin irritant. But these were a little big and restricting my sculpting mobility, so I ended up taking them off. But for legal reasons, I'm gonna suggest you wear them. I'm a filthy brush licker, and a lost cause anyways. I thought I was pretty much done with the sculpting work, but after coming back to it the next day, I decided I didn't like the frontal view. I wanted to frame the face better. I cut the rest of the wings off the butterfly toy and added them to the back. I used green stuff putty this time to create the fur and cover the areas on the wings that were roughly cut. I put off the Conan legs and punk rocker face cards because they were kind of throwing me for a loop. Since the mane looked like the fur loincloth, I added a collar instead of a belt to take care of that one. Of course, he needs a happy little skull. And why not some fangs? Fangs are cute. I'm just gonna focus on the piercings from this card and a punky attitude. This monster is definitely leaning towards spoopy territory, but I'm okay with that. I'll be honest, when I first saw this limb card, I thought it was a taco. I used some mushroom tops to add some spiky parts to the legs and call it done. I only had a few days left to get this painted and wrapped up. The only card left I didn't use was this hand card, but I interpreted that as having dark hands, which I can do with paint. I started out with a base coat of purples and blues, but intended for the wings to be more colorful. Remember that second goal I mentioned earlier? Well, coming up with lore for my creations is something I really enjoy, but this time I wanted to make my monster playable in Dungeons & Dragons. My friend JJ helped me homebrew this creature to make that happen, so while I paint this, let me tell you all about it. This is a hollowed hopwing, a tiny fae with a chaotic good alignment. A hollowed hopwing is a skittish nocturnal fae creature found in the secluded groves and gardens of the Feywild. They are a fusion of rabbit and insect, with both soft fur and delicate wings. They have been blessed by nature spirits and love to play in the moonlight. Hollowed hopwings are generally harmless, but they can be mischievous and protective when it comes to their food sources. While they tend to be untrusting of non-woodland creatures, it is possible to befriend one with the right food offerings, of course. Favorite foods include blueberries, peace blossoms, dewberries, fig nuts, and when they can steal them from unsuspecting travelers, aged cheeses and honey. Obviously, this one is a bit big for the tabletop, but I do plan on making a smaller one for my campaign group. If you like to make your own hollowed hopwing and play it in your games, I have made a downloadable sheet in the description below. I'm going to be honest, I thought the Oracle lied to me when he said my wish was granted. I was doubting whether this would turn out whimsical or not at first, but I think I pulled it off. Thanks for watching. I hope you like my Monster Bash, and I also hope that you check out everyone else's videos in the playlist. Remember, likes and subscribes are free, and a way you can do a small act of kindness and make someone's day. And as always, I love your face. Go make fun things.